Henry Cecil Ransom McBay, black organic chemist. For more than half a century, Henry McBay conducted groundbreaking chemical research and imparted his knowledge to many aspiring chemists. As a doctoral student in Chicago during the Second World War, he was offered a chance to join the atomic bomb research team. He turned down the offer to concentrate on his own research that ultimately resulted in the development of important chemical compounds. During the course of his long career, McBay won awards both for his research and for his teaching. Henry Cecil Ransom McBay, the oldest of four children, was born in the town of Mexia, Texas, on May 29, 1914. His father was an undertaker who later ran a drugstore with his brother. His mother was a seamstress. Whether young Henry's initial interest in science stemmed from his father's business ventures is unclear, but he proved to be a good student from an early age. While McBay was growing up, oil was discovered in Mexia, which made the small town quite wealthy. Among the amenities the oil boom provided was a top-notch high school for the community's black students. Schools were still segregated in Texas in the 1920s, and the town's old black school only ran up to the 7th grade. But the new school offered a full program and attracted excellent teachers from around the country. Young McBay excelled in science and mathematics, and he also found the time to play on the school's football team. Graduating from high school at the age of 16, McBay entered Wiley College in Marshall, Texas, where he received his bachelor's degree in chemistry in 1934. He went on to Atlanta University in Georgia for his master's in organic chemistry. McBay had worked his way through school while at Wiley, and although Atlanta University awarded him a scholarship, money was still tight. Fortunately, his faculty advisor, K.A. Hudgens, was able to get McBay a job in the school's chemistry lab. Hudgens enlisted McBay's help in research on the chemical properties of certain plastics and whether they could be used as substitutes for rubber. At the time, Hudgens was working on his doctorate at the University of Chicago. Hudgens got his PhD from Chicago in 1936, the same year that McBay received his master's from Atlanta. McBay wanted to continue his studies, but with money in short supply, he instead accepted a teaching position back at Wiley. He remained there for 2 years and then took a position at a junior college near Kansas City, Kansas. When the position was eliminated, he got a job teaching high school chemistry in Huntsville, Alabama. While there, he was invited to serve on a research team at the Tuskegee Institute's Carver Foundation. During this time, he had also managed to take summer courses at the University of Chicago, where his old mentor, K.A. Hudgens, had gotten his doctorate. In 1942, McBay enrolled full-time at the University of Chicago. It was during this time that McBay was approached about serving on the research team that was developing the atomic bomb. McBay turned down the offer, attractive as it was, wanting instead to focus on getting his doctorate and working on his own research. Actually, his research at the time was probably more dangerous to him physically than working on the bomb. McBay worked with volatile chemical compounds that were so explosive he was provided with a private laboratory. His work involved creating new compounds from simple peroxides that could be used in chemical reactions. Later, it proved to be integral in the production of useful substances, such as an artificial hormone used in medicines. McBay's research won him the Elizabeth Norton Award in 1944, and again in 1945, as well as his doctorate from Chicago in 1945. After receiving his doctorate, McBay accepted a teaching post at Morehouse College in Atlanta. He taught at all 3 campuses over the next 3 years. A marriage during this time produced two sons but ended in divorce. In addition to conducting research, McBay also worked to make the instruction of chemistry more comprehensive. He believed strongly that students needed more time to devote to science and mathematics research, and he structured courses to provide for this extra time. In 1951, the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, invited McBay to help create a comprehensive chemistry education program in Liberia. Throughout his career, he was often asked to serve as a chemical consultant both for government organizations, notably the Canadian Government Laboratory in Ottawa, and for private industry. McBay has won numerous education awards, including the Outstanding Teaching Award of the National Association for Black Chemists and Chemical Engineers in 1976. He was appointed Fuller E. Calloway Professor of Chemistry at Atlanta University in 1981 and retired in 1986. In 1991, he was Martin Luther King Jr. Visiting Scholar at MIT, and in 1992 he was awarded an honorary doctorate by Emory University. A teaching award and a scholarship fund have been established in his name at Atlanta University. Citations are in the description.